Now listen to me, this is very important. You and I live in historic times. You and I are part of the faithful remnant. You and I are part of the stump of Jesse. Satan has succeeded in splitting the Church of Jesus Christ right down the middle. In future times, our children's children will read about us in their history book and what we went through at this time. They will read how the church in America lost her way and began to follow the Baals. And worship gods of wood and stone, trees and water. They worship the God of nature, not the God who created nature. Sometimes it's hard to tell which is which. But there are two signs that we can watch for. The first is that the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ has the Holy Bible to serve as a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. The other sign you can look for is how the children are treated. Abortion is legal in America, just as it was in Old Testament and New Testament times. Children may be killed for the convenience of their parents or society. In New Testament times, children with deformities were killed outright. Girl children could be killed just because they were girls and not boys. What they would do is these little ones would be taken out into the wilderness and left there to die of starvation or be attacked by animals. Early Christians would go out and rescue these children and raise them as their own. Let's jump ahead now to the 1500s. In the Reformation of the 1500s, it was not simply a matter of doctrine that was at stake, although this was very, very important. It was the wretched state of the churches themselves and the Christians who suffered from lack of instruction. In the fall of 1528, Martin Luther published his small catechism. And in the preface to that catechism, he wrote these words, and I quote, "The deplorable condition which I recently encountered when I was a visitor constrained me to prepare this brief and simple catechism, a statement of Christian belief." Good God, what wretchedness I beheld. The common people especially, those who live in the country, have no knowledge whatever of Christian teaching. And unfortunately, many pastors are quite incompetent to teach. Although the people are supposed to be Christian, and they receive the Holy Sacrament, they do not know the Lord's Prayer. They do not know the creeds. They do not know the Ten Commandments. They live as if they were pigs and irrational beasts. But now, the gospel has been restored to them. Now, the gospel is not about you, and it's not about me. It's about God and what God has done for us. The gospel is something to be spread abroad, to be talked about, to be told to others. It is news. It is very good news. Many years ago, the Lord began to open my spiritual eyes so that I could see into the hearts of those I was working with. And as I went along, it got stronger and stronger. Then on one Sunday morning, He let me see into the hearts of all those who had gathered for worship. I could see their hatreds, their unforgiveness, their resentments, their lust, their fears. It was such a horrible sight that I simply could not bear it. And I asked the Lord to take it away. Sometime later, we were in a time of extended worship on Saturday evening. We were singing and praising God. My Lord called me to the altar to kneel during the song. So I went to the altar and I knelt. I don't remember what the song was, but I know our people were singing praises to our God. All at once, I could hear singing from above. From the heavenly realm. It was the angelic chorus. They were singing the same song that we were singing. They were singing with us. I was then covered with the glory of God. At first I felt ecstasy, but then I couldn't bear it another second. I had to pray, Lord, take it away from me, because I'm a man of unclean lips.